I'm telling you, Stormy looking at Sasa is like, no, I'm the carry now.
So wait. I think I now understand. I understand it. What's gonna happen is RQ will be forced to ban both Claude and Ixia. They will go carry instead as their last pick.
Do they really want to go carry in these types of situations?
They will not have any choice after the ban on the if the Ixia and the Claude will be banned out. They will not have any other choice but the carry. So I think that they're more concerned about the Stormy hero than the Sasa hero.
When the body
Interesting.
suffers.
Okay,
What?
lot of faith into
Okay.
Sasa and RQ.
Bring it on,
they
Never
say.
mind.
They're like, nah,
Never mind.
no more of this. Get Benedetta out of here. No more
Oh,
brass
man.
tacks this time
I
around.
agree,
They're
though.
taking the playmaking out of SMG, man. It started with the Kai, now it's the Benedetta. They might just go for it. I mean, the gold lane ban seems inevitable, though.
Yeah, Ixia maybe. I think that especially because
Minotaur.
oh
Finish
okay
off
okay
what was
so they want to
left
really want to
undone.
go Claude this time.
Interesting.
Team
They have a
SMG.
Valentina this time. I would actually think that maybe they would let
Yeah.
that open, but yeah, Claude had to get taken out here. That's very hard to get a pick
Yeah.
off with when you play the Guinevere.
Yeah, man, this second part of the drafting phase, especially when it comes to that match, is so responsive for both Coach Cabral as well as Coach Bao. They're both looking
Yeah.
at each other, and it's like, it's a tic-tac-toe game. Eventually, you're going to get
Yeah.
one of those corners to finish this game off. As first pick in the second phase, going on to Team SMG, what's it gonna be?
The Khalid is still open, so you might want to go Diroth for Team SMG. Something along the lines of a non-counterable XP. Surely there still is Uranus. The Paquito looks also very good. I don't know how good. I don't know how good Smooth is with the Paquito.
He's pretty deep.
What about Arlet?
Arlet, I mean, it's banned out,
Yeah.
unfortunately, right? If it was up on the table, for sure, that's
Yeah.
an early lock-in for him, right? 3 more seconds.
Yep.
Paquito.
Paquito.
Good call there, Wolf. Good call. Now we know we have multiple options, and especially for gold lane that's already uncontested at this point, as RQ have locked in the Bruno.
Yeah.
What are they going to finish it off with?
Lapo or Yuzhong, so that they know that whatever marksman there will be, it will be enough for the jump, right? And also, if the Ixia will be played, at least they have an access to the backlines. You might be tempted to go for Khalid again if you're RQ, because honestly, Tekashi played it well, and it kind of fits the profile of how Tekashi wants to play. That means that you need a way to also jump the backlines. What if they go? Yeah, well, never mind.
Yutong will
Diroth
Diroth
Okay.
into Kufra.
Okay.
Okay. So they're just playing their own style. They're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
we have set tanks, we have ways to jump that backline, and we have an
Yeah.
executioner just in case we
Ixia.
peel them off.
Oh,
So long.
He's not
Man.
feeling it.
You called it.
Yes, I understand it. Oh, okay. So why I'm very happy about this is, it is actually a hero. You know, Claude and Ixia, they don't necessarily win against the Bruno.
Yeah.
Like, they can even it out. Carry is a 50-50 though. It's a 50-50 call. If you're good enough, you can win against the Bruno.
Really? In
Wow.
comparison to an
Mechanic-
Ixia?
Ixia will not win against the Bruno per se. It will survive
It will
the Bruno.
survive. I mean, in
Oh.
our
Will
trades, okay. All right. We'll get a little bit more into the laning phase
Yeah.
about this because I think it's going to be quite the game changer for either side.
Yep.
Remember, this is all about well, not necessarily early game, but at least they have a little bit more flexibility around that mid game, so they don't get that brass tacks
Yep.
against Team SMG as we start rolling into this match point for them. M5 World Championship group stage here. It's on the line. The knockout qualification for RRQ Akira comes down to this. They need to
5
break this game
seconds till the
open. They
enemy
need to
reaches the
push it
battlefield.
to a game number
Smash
3
them.
as we walk in towards game number 2. It's going to be Team SMG on the red side once again to hold them back.
Welcome
RRQ
to
Akira
Mobile
on
Legends.
the blue side.
It's not just the last hope for RQ, but it's the last hope for Brazil. Bigatron's sons have been knocked out already. And now we'll see if SMG will deny that chance away from this region, from this team.
The carry, although I say that it can win against the Bruno 1v1, it still is a risk. Like I said, Bruno will have the time of his life no matter what, right? Because it's the easier hero to execute in the gold lane. But the carry, if you're good enough, if you know your matchups, and if you outplay your opponent, the Bruno, you will be able to do so.
Yeah, it's all going to come down to the usage of the light wheel, right? That's going to be the big
Yes.
game changer for a lot of these carry players in their counter matchups. But so far, Stormy and Miko doing a good job kind of trying to keep control over this mid lane. They're really fighting for it.
Yeah.
They're doing a good job.
The moment they pick up the Valentina instead of the Claude, it kind of really told me that, yeah, they might be eyeing for the carry, but I didn't think that they would be bold enough to actually do that. Well, I guess to echo what what Gideon have said, nothing else matters anymore with Team SMG, right? So they should be. I mean, this is, if there's a time to be bold enough, this is the time.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. I remember doing a daily recap on my YouTube channel that you can go find at Gideon Q.
Hey.
With Renmar, he mentions that Sasa is actually quite a stable laner, so why not give faith to him, right?
Yep.
Have faith in him in his matchups, and then start investing in other players and arming them better.
Yeah, and I think for SMG here, to talk a little bit about Wolf's statement there earlier about the laning phase, I think it's kind of irrelevant anyways because they have a Mathilda, right? It's an auto win for the lane.
Yes.
Healing, sustain, and also a bit of poke. Same thing goes for RRQ though, because they have better wave clear to mid lane. Lily is just all over the place. Wait, I believe that's a spatial migration and an engage on the other side of the map. Sockside gonna be poked down, and now with 1 HP, he's able to dodge for a bit, but the Gloops takes him out. It's gonna be the Black Shoes popped in. Takashi looking for one last hit, a good knockout strike, but a spatial migration saves Takashi for a bit, delays his death, and is able to just get the right timing on that kill to Smooth. Tyler's Revenge by Louise, knocking Miko up. Stormy's looking for an angle. King finds a retreat now, a defensive spatial migration. Louise gonna be poked down, going to be stunned up. He does have the flicker, however, to escape.
Interesting. Okay, again, a lot of respect is being given over. I think Team SMG kind of underestimated how much Dairoth could actually do in the earlier stages of the game, and that's why they're not going for the instant invade on the orange side for RRQ Akira, knowing that he's walking back into it. So now we look at the goal earned. Gusta, Logusta, and King are in nice spots with Sasa and his Stormy just behind them. But in the meantime, Smooth, like, this matchup is extremely volatile.
Yeah. And I gotta say, RRQ Akira is still very good at the laning early stages of the game. Despite having the backshot as well as the Mathilda, they still got 2 kills and got the turtle against Team SMG. It's actually pretty massive. And they're going to be very comfortable now going for 2 lanes? Double lane Dairoth?
Okay.
That's the first time I'll see that.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. As EXP
not a lot.
laners, you don't usually get that much love. You kind of have to kind of hold your own, be financially independent, you know? Gotta find your own way.
I mean, he does have the Wilderness Blessing, so it makes sense why he's rotating across the map. He doesn't go for the Rupture. Violent Requiem used up Miko, locked down. He stayed in the air till he died there.
The airtime was nasty. Can't do much about that, but oh no, Sasa.
Oh,
Can't
what a
dash
block.
away. That's a bouncing ball, and Sasa will be pinned down. King picks up a killing spree. Stormy, one last hit. He gets the clone in time, and Gusta, he's just taking the turret, plating. Meanwhile, Louise gets a good rage, claps them onto the wall. Stormy forced to use the Black Shoes, and RRQ gets a big win in the early game.
Huge win. I mean, it's starting to be almost like a repeat of game number 1, right? Now, if it is going to be similar to game number 1, we expect RRQ Akira to make it to at least 5K by the 7th minute mark, right?
Yeah.
For the most part, that should be the story that should be told, right? These turtles are dangerous. RRQ Akira are going to drag out this laning phase for as long as possible. And honestly, I got to give it to Sagan. He's been pretty consistent in his laning phase and as well as these early fights.
Gotta agree with you. Spatial migration, 2-man this time with the Violent Requiem, but Miko's able to purify out of this one. Takashi now jumping on the Soxa. Abyssum Strike dodged away from. Now Knockout Strike, bringing him back all the way to the Shield Unity. And that is a 1-for-0. This time is for SMG. RRQ on the back foot. Soxa pulling the turtle as far away as possible from King, and Stormy tries to distract him. Back Louise, oh! Beautiful timing by Stormy. Retreat battle from King and Soxa, and it's going to be King with a 1-level lead who secures the turtle. Sagan flickers out to safety. Who gets the more value there?
Wow, I think Team SMG, think about it, because they badly need the recovery. And I'm only saying that because they were trailing behind for quite a long time. So the fact that they finally get a W when it comes to skirmishes, going to be a breath of fresh air for them.
Yeah, I think that overall, I mean, I don't know. There was definitely a moment of PTSD for Mirko there, especially when the Dairoth started jumping back in, but Smooth, financially independent. How long can he hold?
Not that long. He just gets shut down.
Happens to the best of us. I mean, EXP experience right there.
Yep, it happens, man. Sometimes you go for a 1v1, sometimes there's a random Guinevere.
Now I'm getting PTSD from that one. That's the real life. But let's come back to the top side, right? Because that's where the most important players are going to be. Oh!
Good catch, and a Tyler's Rage doesn't even need it to connect to the wall. Now Stormy Terrifying. Oh, Gusta 1 HP, still able to cut away. Stormy looking for one last hit, but is not able to find it. Meanwhile, King is in the bush, waiting with Tekashi. That wilderness blessing.
Oh my
You saw Tekashi bot, now you see him talk.
God.
Oh my goodness. And Argue Akira knew that the shoes will be there eventually because Stormy copied the Lilia and they punished him duty. The thing is, they also pushed up top, so I think that's the even bigger objective that they were able to get up top lane.
Yeah, and worse yet, if Sasa was playing just a marksman with just a wee bit more range, just a wee bit more, he wouldn't be stutter stepping underneath his
Yeah.
turret to finish off the kill that was so given to him. Served on a silver
Ixia.
platter, like an Ixia, even a Claude, just throw out the BMI if you have to, but man, that's gotta hurt.
That is the risk for RRQ Akira. I mean, for Team SMG. You understand why they went for the carry, but they're paying for that for those sort of transgressions. And Luis is now gonna be just babysitting Gusta Lagusta at this point.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. 2 basic attacks.
90 damage.
Okay, stop it, man, please. You've already got so much crit, and it's not even the empowered auto attacks, and they're doing more than 500 damage each time, brother. Come on.
The crit's up to 1,300.
Oh, stop.
Owies.
7 minutes in.
Big ouchies. Big ouchies. I mean, now we're at the 7-minute mark, right? And previously in game number 1, it was 5K. Now it's only 3.7. It feels like this is a slower snowball that's accumulating for RRQ Akira.
Oh, good
Look at
bouncing.
the Kofra. Oh my god.
That was brilliant. It actually took away from a lot of SMG's power in that initiation, and now it's going to be the re-engage from RRQ. A good guiding win, though. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, a Abyssal Strike! Oh, Tekashi!
Just at the edge. Stormy didn't pop the Purify because, I mean, like, it might not have even help him, but any port in the storm, Team SMG, unfortunately, might lose this turret.
Look at that, the physical defense shred right onto Luis's Tyrant's Revenge. You didn't see that rage because you didn't even need to land it. Now it's Tekashi again onto the back, zoning Sasa, forcing a guiding win from Miko. What the heck is going on? RRQ Akira are just pushing in mid. They're just going straight in.
I mean, this is the chaos that you wanted to see. You wanted to see RRQ Akira kind of pump up the gas, be hyper aggressive, go further and further and further, really pushing their limits against Team SMG. And they found a really good opportunity during the scramble, and it feels like Team SMG can't keep up with that tempo, like similar to game number 1, but even so, that they're getting staggered time and time again.
Yeah. Like, they really need Sasa to I mean, speed up the farming right now, but what can they do? They can't even go double lane now because Guinevere, the king, is just literally just all over the place. No place is safe for Sasa to farm, especially because his Purify is on cooldown for 30 more seconds.
I'm sorry, Wolf. I can't help but laugh every time I see Tekashi. He's so fast. he's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's Khalid at home. Dyroth just running around.
Wilderness Dyroth.
Oh man,
It's
You gotta love
dirty.
it.
that's wild.
It's really wild.
Look at him. Look at him. What?
He's so fast.
I'm coming, boys.
I'm getting there. I'm getting a marathon run all the way from topside. It's great to see.
It might be even funnier if he wears that skin, the KOF skin, right? Because he's doing like the animation, like Naruto, like Naruto.
Oh, circling eagle, Sagan. Oh, he's holding that choke point really well. Now Tekashi jumps in. It's an Abyssum Strike to take Saksa out. No red tree, just like that, and King just secures it for free. A good Terrify, a good chunk of damage, but Gusta Lagusta is untouchable. Smooth jumps in the punch, but he's not able to find anything. SMG forced back, and RQ
Oh, the
Kiro.
flicker!
Flicker forward from Gusta Lagusta. Unable to find any more of those hits, but what a win.
What a win. Gusta, I gotta have to be reminded of game number 1 where some of
Be
the
careful, man.
overspeeding from RRQ Akira might be detrimental for the team, but they can celebrate now. I think that was a well played Lord Dance that you saw from RRQ Akira, and more importantly, Tekashi with the positioning as well as the entirety of RRQ Akira, honestly, punishing Sapsa.
Ooh. Wow, a good lockdown. Smooth gets knocked up. The airtime was wild. Saksa can only just watch it. Luis finds the rage. Brings them back. That's a kill over Tekashi with the Abyssum Strike. Sasa still surviving. King backing away. And of course, Takashi survives as well. Stormy just very, very low. Few good shots, and that's a double picked up. Takashi once again finds the back, and it is an equalizer. Fast as the Dairoth, 11 minutes.
Woo! The Kingdom strikes back 1-1, forcing a Game 3 onto Team SMG. I don't know about you, but the last Kage has got some competition, and Takashi, if only he had the correct skin, he may be changing his name to Kakashi real soon.
Yes, 100%. I'm gonna have to hand it to the draft that we saw from RQ Akira, especially when they went in for the Dairoth. How do you actually pronounce it? Dairoth or
I
Dairoth?
call it Dairoth.
I call it
Dairoth, alright.
Dairoth sounds more epic, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when he's running like that. You know how fast he is?
How
He's fast as heck, boy!
He's hella fast.
Ciao! Coming out from
He is
Takashi.
speed.
Yes, he's speed. And that Kufra, I really love that touch. I think along the way, we kind of predicted that a Paquito will be picked up, right?
Yeah.
We mentioned that. But at the same time, the first hero that came to my mind was the Dairoth. Because I think that Dairoth is a hero that doesn't have unnecessary counter during that moment. Like we saw that the Teresa was already banned out. And if they pick that up, I mean, there's no actual quote-unquote counter. Because the Benedetta was already out, right?
That's true.
So that's why
true.
it would have been better as the fourth pick. But now that they have access to it, they countered the Paquito, and they have this Kufra. I think the Kufra was a nice touch because, in a way, the Matilda will not be running around with the Guiding Wind. And you also have that Paquito that's really just nullified because of that Kufra. And of course, who's our MVP? It's King. 4-0-9.
Disgusting gameplay, right?
Exactly.
Because you're expecting Luis to be the one that's like, oh, I'm going to catch everybody. I'm going to go for those big engages. And King's
Yeah.
like, no, step aside, brother. It's all me. I'm going to start it off, going to get that airtime. You guys just got to follow up.
Yep. And there's also that knock-up, that free tech coming out from the Kufra to actually allow King to also land big ultimates. But you gotta have to hand it to both King as well as Takashi. They relieved what normal roamers would do to roam around the map, right? And that meant that this Luis Kufra was able to just babysit the Bruno. By the way, great fight. Level of first turtle fight coming out from Team RRQ. Eventually, they have punished Takashi, but King, look at his positioning, and he's very patient about it. And the trap. 5 people at 6 minutes up top just because of movement speed and Takashi. Beautiful min-maxing with that Business Strike.
I'm telling you, that's going to be the name of my next fanfic, Relieving My Roamer, man. Because again, how fast is Takashi moving on with the wilderness breasting? It's like he has the Khalid passive to kind of close that distance super quick, but let's
He is a roamer.
He is a roamer, but let's not forget, like, for most people, you're thinking about the quote-unquote armor strip meta when Irithyll was still very relevant. You technically kind of have that with the worldie on top of having the Dairoth, right?
True.
Yeah.
Stacks up.
Stacks upon stacks. It's tough. It's tough. And let's not forget the one extra bit of flavor. You mentioned it just now with Luis on this Kufra. Not only is he able to engage, but more importantly so, once you have that momentum, people kind of tend to forget that he's there.
Yeah.
And then he comes on in and it's like, oh, he helps his team overreach these boundaries.
Yes, exactly. Because there are a lot of jumps coming out from RQ Akira, and then you would think that after 1 or 2 jumps, it's already over. Guess what? The Kufra comes in. And man, you gotta have to remember this, boys. Dairoth, this is how you play it. Wilderness Blessing after the Firmness, as well as the Tank Emblem. They're gonna be set for days. And then, when you compare it to Smooth with this Paquito, there's not much that he can do when it comes to like eliminating Takashi. Naturally, the Dairoth will win that laning stage, and you saw how well he managed his lead over Team SMG.
Well, actually, man, this is because I play EXP way too much. It's one of these really volatile matchups where Paquito is looking to make sure he minimizes his trades against the Dairoth, right? He doesn't want to go for these prolonged ones. But the way that Takashi builds already, like, it infuriates me because I want him to be so lane dominant, but that's not his goal. His goal is to make sure that, hey, you're stuck in this lane, I'm going to move faster than you, despite the fact that you have a champion stance, which gives you a free ability to double jab across the map.
Exactly. It's like he's playing like a Benedetta in a way. Which is great because Takashi was known because of the Benedetta last M4.
He was just super fast across the map, and on top of that, despite him, holding the Paquito down, he rotates and the base damage alone is enough to solo kill some of these laners, right? I
Yeah.
mean, Stormy was obliterated by that Abyssal
Yes.
Strike. Sure, it was some help from Sagan, but still, that's impressive with just a Fury Hammer.
Yes. This makes you really excited about RQ